Good morning, everybody, on this rainy day. Where is everybody? Yay! All right, so what we have here this morning is we have a couple of things that we're going to do today. The first thing we're going to do today is we're going to get into groups and we're just going to double check that everybody is on the same page as far as MLA format. And also we're going to look at the works cited page. Okay, so everybody good on that? Okay, after that, what we're going to do is we're going to jump into some peer editing into small groups, and then we're going to close out with some work from um, the Holocaust. And so we're going to be looking at this poem. So we have 3 things to do today. And so I guess all good from here. Everybody good? How's this rain? Isn't it wonderful? I think winter's here. Yeah. So anyway, let's go ahead. Oh, before I forget, let's go ahead and get into the chat. We all should have watched 2 videos, one from the Holocaust and one from World War II. Okay, so hopefully you have your notes. Okay, go ahead and look in your notes. In the chat, go ahead and type in maybe 1 or 2 things that jumped out at you that you're like, whoa, this stuff is crazy, something. Okay, so go ahead and type it in there. Yes, I did. Mm-hmm. Okay, very good. Oh, yeah. Okay, very good. Okay, still waiting for some people. Ahi, you know what we're doing? We're adding something into the chat that jumped out at you. Okay, very good. Okay. Okay. Okay, very good. Very good, very good, very good. Anything else? So a couple things that were mentioned, right? The death marches. Oh my gosh. I forgot to feed my dog, and my dog is like bugging me right now. Go away. All right. So what we have here is there was a mention of the death marches. These death marches were is going to be part of the book Night. What the Nazis did was they, in order to try and cover up what they were doing, they were transporting thousands and thousands of Jewish people from one camp, right, to another. And the longer the war went on, the longer the death marches went from one area to another area. They had to walk on foot, and they weren't walking, they were running. And if they were they walked too slow or they ran too slow, then they would get trampled. If they didn't get trampled, then they were probably done away with because they were slowing up the process from going from like the outer skirts of the area of land that the Nazis were controlling, and they were trying to centralize, so bring everybody to back into Germany to hide what they were doing. It was very interesting and very sad. So we're going to read a part about the death marches in the story Night. Okay, what else? World War II. Whew. What question do you have about the role the United States played in World War II? Go ahead and in the chat, what would be a question you would ask about this time period? Mm, that's a great question. Okay. Okay, any more questions? Yeah, why did they get involved? Ooh. Emily, that is one of the biggest questions, right? Um, if I if I were you guys, I would go ahead and take some of these questions down, especially Emily's question about why did America want to stay out of the war at first, right? That's one of the biggest questions, okay, of this whole unit that we are going to be um, talking about, because this also translates to us as individuals, right? When do we choose to stay in our lanes, or when do we choose to mind somebody else's business, right? So we can see this on a global scale, and we can also see this on a real low level of social interaction, right? Even with something as simple as if my friend says something that's kind of messed up, do I in turn call them out on it, or do I just stay in my lane, right? Or if you see something that's crazy, would you say something, right? Okay. And Damon's question about was the use of nuclear bombs necessary? Damon, go ahead and talk about that a little bit more.
I asked that question because like when they used the nuclear bombs, they killed like many uh how do I say it, like innocent civilians that like had nothing to do with the war.
Mm-hmm.
They just happened to like live there, and like a bunch of people died when they didn't need to.
Right. I'm not what do you call that, an international war crimes expert, but I think on that level, I think that that might have been, I mean, something is wrong with that, right? Something is definitely wrong with innocent bystanders being wiped off the face of this earth, and they weren't even involved in it. So very interesting. Okay, Kekama, why did the United States go to World War II to help Great Britain and Soviet Union? Why did you ask this question, Kekama?
I asked that question because, like, at first, it wasn't like what is it called? Like, it wasn't their problem. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was mostly um, like the countries that are getting taken over by German.
Mm-hmm. Germany.
Yeah, but then like, after like the Soviet Union started to come and Great Britain, but yeah, I still don't understand why they joined. Like, they helped them.
Why they joined the Allied forces instead of the Axis?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great question. Okay. Does anybody have an answer or response to that? Becca, do you know why? Do you have a guess? Anybody? Ahi? Okay, in the chat, go ahead. Just take a guess, right? Take a guess. Why would the United States side with the Allied forces instead of the Axis allies? Okay, go ahead. Just take a guess. Nobody's wrong, nobody's right. We'll just try and take a guess. Weapons. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, what else? Better ground coverage. Okay. Maybe they got resources from Britain. Okay. They were taking land from America. They originally gave weapons to Great Britain. Cool. Kayla, do you like history? Are you interested in history? Kayla? Okay. So that is a question you're going to have to ask yourself. Okay, Emily, going back to your question about why did America want to stay out of the war at first, right? They delayed, right, their involvement. They were just waiting to see what was happening, right? And so I think you're on that same wavelength, right? That same train of thought of maybe we just wait to see what unfolds, right? Maybe we. Okay, so also you're gonna read about night, okay, and things happen in certain times of the day, particularly at night, okay, and so what I'm doing is we're just kind of like easing our way into the historical context of night. If not, this story is just a crazy, wild story that is not as real as it's supposed to be. Okay, so that's why we're kind of learning a little bit of history at this point. Okay, I really like that you guys were able to contribute to this morning's discussion. Okay, we're going to reverse a little bit because we got to go back. This week is a big week because this is our final revisions before we submit our final draft. Okay, really, we're going to start looking at the real nitty gritty of your papers. Okay, so this morning, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be in groups, in 3 different groups. Okay, and collectively, you guys are all going to be working on the MLA format. Okay, so let's look. We have a number of things that you guys can look at. I'm gonna copy in the chat. You're going to open these up because these are the references that you're going to need. So first one is going to be just the electronic sources, because most of us should have only electronic sources, okay, for the works cited page. So have those tabs up and running. Okay, next one. Go ahead in the chat, click on this one. That's the sample paper so that you guys can kind of see what the paper is supposed to look like. Okay. So what I'm going to do is, everybody have their phones. Get them. Okay. I'm going to create 3 breakout rooms. Okay. And you're going to have, I'm going to give you guys about 10 minutes. Before I start, I guess I'll just explain what we're doing, okay, so that everybody understands. So I'm just sharing my screen with you guys. Okay, what you have here is you have like real bust up papers. Like this is one of the examples. Okay, you're gonna have to correct this so that it's in MLA format. Okay, as a small group. So this obviously you can see all kinds of things that are wrong. This is just an example. You don't have to grade or correct any type of grammar or anything. It's just text in there. Okay, but I want to see the MLA format. Okay, everybody good on that? Can I get a thumbs up? Okay. Next, when you scroll down to the bottom, what I'm going to have you guys do is I'm going to have you guys look at a works cited page. Okay, and I only gave you guys the links to these sources of information. Okay, so what I'm going to suggest is that in your groups, like 2 of you guys work on MLA formatting, 2 of you guys work on works cited. Okay, everybody good? Okay, everybody got the Purdue OWL links up and running because that's where you're going to refer to. Okay, all right, here we go with our breakout room. Oh, hang on. Maybe I'm jumping ahead. What do we have here? When you guys look at this, okay, so you guys see the screen, right? Peer editing, final revision, everybody see that, yes? Okay, so we have group 1, 2, and 3. So let me just talk about who's in each group. So group 1, okay, so is going to be Ahi, Kayla, Nai, Becca, and Tasia. Everybody good on that? Okay. Group 2, Damon, Diesel, Kalukalani, and Niao. Okay, and group 3, Nella, Emily, Kikama, and Makamai. Okay, ready? Okay, 10 minutes. Set your timers, ready? Go, 10 minutes. So my suggestion is that one person makes a copy and then share it with each other. Ken? So who's gonna do that? Okay, good. Morning, morning, morning. One person in your group makes a copy and then share it with each other. Okay, share it in your small group. Who's gonna do that?
I will do that.
Okay, awesome. Just make the link shareable and then just blast it in the chat. Okay, so that everybody can get on. Okay, very good. Morning. How you guys doing? So let's go ahead. I need one person to volunteer as tribute to make that copy of your group number 3. And then just go ahead and change the settings to anybody with the link can edit and then put it in the chat. That's the fastest way to do this. Okay. Then you guys all work on the same document. Who's going to do that? Okay. Mahalo, Maka. Okay. You guys, I can't believe we can wear jackets right now. I've been missing wearing my sweater, and I also have this vest that I always wear. Okay, you guys gonna have to talk to each other now. You see how like messed up yours is, number 3? Yeah, group 3. I mean, you guys have so much. Look, I mean, like everything's in the wrong place. Okay, so make sure you fix them all. Ken? Okay.
Please do tell if it doesn't work.
because, yeah.
It works.
Okay, great. Fun.
They're so cute. Okay, bye.
Bye.
Bye. Niall,
Yeah.
you shared the document.
Yeah.
You just put it in the link in the chat. Okay. All right. Can you put it in the chat one more time so I can get on? Thank you. Okay. Thank you. Everybody doing something then. Okay.
Yeah, I can't edit.
Can you edit?
Yeah, you know when you get into the shared settings, you
Yeah.
have it on anyone with the internet link can view. So you got to change view to editor. On the right hand side, there's a drop down menu. Do you see it?
Does it work now? Yes, it does.
I think you guys need like another 10 more minutes because you guys are behind, okay? So just adjust your timer. Go ahead and restart your timer. Can somebody put the link in the chat so I can maha'oi on you guys? Thank you. Kayla, can you set the share settings to anyone with the link can edit?
Can you get into it?
Yes. Okay. Okay. You guys working on the works cited now?
The works cited, the first one, the first and second one doesn't have the author and stuff.
Oh, very good. So what do you have to
And-
do?
Uh,
You can't just make it up, right? So that's a thing that's why I chose it, because when you have a source of information that doesn't have the author, you have to skip to the next thing that it requests, right? So when you look at this, I'm just gonna put this, copy and paste this onto your doc. What group are you guys?
One.
You're one. Okay. So if I'm gonna just put it down here. Can everybody see that? Do you see this? Do you see that? Yes. Okay. So what this is like what should be in it. But as you guys know, this is not formatted properly. Okay. And I'm gonna show everybody how to do this today, but that's what a hanging indent looks like. Okay. So if there's no author, what do? You have to skip to the next thing that it asks for. Make sense? Because you can't just make up somebody's name. So, okay. Makes sense, yeah.
okay, wait. The last site, it says it's
Blocked.
yeah, it says it's not found.
That's so lame. Okay, let me try to find it. Oh, I see it. Let me see what's going on. What the heck? Let me try again. Okay, now try. Does it work now? Yes. Okay. How many more minutes do you guys think you guys need? 5 more minutes? How's it going, you guys? So when I look at you guys' papers, okay, can you guys go to the works cited page? Okay, so everybody can see what's going on. Okay, see, I just copied and pasted this Feluga Dino thing. Everybody see that? Yeah. Okay. So first of all, it's got to go to double, right? And then what we have here is we have kind of a funky, this should go to 0.5 and that should go to 0. Did you guys see what I just did? Yeah, no? So there needs to be a hanging indent here. Okay, there needs to be an access date. Today is the 12th of November, so it should look like this, 2020, right? So what you guys are going to be doing, okay, is when you go to the Purdue OWL website, it gives you like different categories of how to cite a electronic source. So you got to go in there and look. Okay. Also, this is in Georgia, and this needs to be in Times New Roman, right? Okay, boom. So it should look like that. Okay, so if it doesn't look like this, then you gotta fix it. Okay, and then delete the website after. Okay, so check that out. Another
Oh,
5
wait,
minutes. Oh, what's that?
what happens if I find like the published date?
Then you just have to skip it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like the other. So like, as you guys know, the two sources, the first two, no more author's name, yeah. So you just skip it and you look for the next like component that it's requesting, right? So that would be like the title, okay? You know, for the USDA announces COVID food assistance program, you know, that one, that source. There is the posted date for that one though. You see that? It's at the very top underneath the title. Jamie, you see that? Okay. So just do your best. And then sometimes at the bottom they have, but doesn't seem like there is a person. So it looks like it's from the United States Department of Agriculture. Yeah. Okay. All right. How's it going?
Good.
You guys good? What is this group tree? Oh, getting better. Okay. So you guys are working on the works cited now, yeah? Okay, so go ahead and get into that website that I gave you guys for electronic sources. Okay, and then let's do page on a website. Okay, copy, where are you guys? So below, I'm just gonna give you an example, okay? So what we have here is we have a page from a website. Okay, you notice that it's still not in format. So what we have to do is we have to make sure we drag it to 0.50 and then bring it back to 0 like that. Okay, because that's how you get your hanging indent. Did you see what I did? And now also there should be maybe a published date, and then this is the access date. Yeah, so make sure at the end of your information that you have, today is the 12th, so 12th November, and then in 2020. Okay, should look like that period at the end. Okay, got them. If there isn't an author, then what you need to do is skip to the next thing that is required. Okay, that's requested for the works cited page. Got it. Yeah. Ooh,
So sorry. Didn't mean to do that. I was just trying to,
it's okay. You can delete it after. It doesn't matter. Who's doing the formatting for the top part?
me and Nella.
Okay. So what's going on with the second paragraph? Okay. Mhm. So every once in a while, you're going to come across this like really irritating thing where there we go. Okay. Don't get frustrated. You just got to figure out how you're going to move it so that it looks like that, right? Now that's frustrating because it's like it has a mind of its own sometimes. Okay. But just work through it. Let's see. Okay. Somebody tell me what's wrong with the date. Thank you. And then, very good. Okay, everything looks good. Just gotta make sure you are formatting it correctly. Okay, your works cited. All right, I'm gonna bring everybody back because at least we have a MLA formatting headache now. Okay, so. I'm on mute. Awesome. How's everybody doing? You guys good? It's awesome to have an MLA formatting headache this early in the morning. Okay, but sometimes, especially when you go to college, you're gonna have to wake up early because the night before you stayed up really late procrastinating, and then you wrote your paper, and now it's time to go back and format the paper. My suggestion for you guys, because I think some of you guys are pretty familiar with MLA formatting or how to format something, is that you gotta do what's best for you. Okay. As your ninth grade teacher, I'm showing you how to do it, write a paper in an organized way. But for you, some of you guys like work a little bit differently. So some of you guys might want to just write the paper and then add in the facts or the evidence after, right? Some of you guys might disregard doing MLA formatting in the beginning, and then at the end in your final revisions, really focus on MLA formatting. It just depends, right? But for us, what we did was we wrote the paper, right? Never mind MLA formatting at this point, and now we're really focusing on it. Okay, so everybody understand what we're kind of doing. We're trying to figure out what works best for each and every one of you guys. Okay, so let's look. I'm gonna share my screen, and everybody else, I guess what we could do is just follow along. I know my poor dog is starving for some reason this morning. Okay. All right, I'm gonna share my screen. Hi, Maddie. Hi, Ahi. So while you were gone, since you were gone, what we're doing is we just kind of in small groups worked on MLA formatting. Okay, so in the, I don't know, can you see in the chat anything? I think if you log on at a certain time, you can't see. So I'm just giving you guys the, the links, okay? I'll put this inside the module, okay? But these links right here, you need them. So what I would do is put a star, like bookmark it so that you have it, okay? Do you see it now, Maddie? Okay. So let's look. We'll work on this one. Okay. So let me see. Okay. So everybody can see what's going on, okay? I'm just going to just take one of these and then just make sure, I'm just talking you guys through some things, okay? So that everybody can see. So everybody see that we are on this one. So first and foremost, what's going on with this? Well, okay, and if you need to take notes because, you know, things are unclear, then by all means take notes, okay? So right now, if you notice, we have the header is correct, the Bergeron space 1, that's correct. But let's go to, okay, very good. The page number is correct. Now, what do we have here? We have our heading in the header, and that's not going to work, okay? So if you notice, right, if you notice the header, in the header, because the heading is in the header along with the title, when you scroll down, look what happens, right? The professor, the Kumu, they don't have to be reminded of your name over and over again, okay? So this needs to be on the page. So this, I'm gonna copy, actually what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut all of this, okay? And I'm going to put it on the page, okay? You see that? That's what it should look like. Okay, next, we need to have a capital T, a capital I, and a capital S. Boom, okay? Now we're formatted correctly. This is what I'm going to grade you on. This MLA format right here, this is basic. You should know this already, okay? First name, last name, my name. Oh, look at this, okay? So in between MS period, there needs to be a space, okay? Ooh, I got you guys. So part of MLA formatting and the headaches of formatting in any type of actual format, right? Some of you guys are doing APA in biology class. Am I right? Yes or no? APA. It's a different type of formatting. Oh, okay. Okay, so first name, last name, your teacher's name, the course, and then the day, month, year. No commas. If you need to write down in capital letters, no commas in the date, please do so. Please remind yourself, it goes day, spell out the month, capital N, 2020. Okay, next, don't be putting extra spaces over here to try and make it fancy. All right, it's just the next line down. It starts the essay. Okay. Sometimes what students do is they start writing their essay and it's all justified to the center. So make sure that it's justified to the left. Okay, let's look at the next part. Now this works cited, very interesting. Okay, very good. Okay, a couple of things I'm noticing. We have the first, right? We have the first letters of each source. Is it in alphabetical order? Yes or no? Okay, yes. This is good. Okay, however, when we look at this, okay, we are missing a publication date and we're missing the date of access. Okay, so we need to go back and do that. Okay, the other thing I want to point out is this. When you have a source that goes down, that is longer than 2 lines, right? What you need is called a hanging indent. Can you guys write that down? Hanging indent. Okay. Format hanging indent for more than 2 lines in the works cited page. This is the nitty-gritty stuff. This is why English teachers are the way they are. I'm stereotyping my profession to the fullest, right? The other day I was eating this bag of beef jerky. I turned it around to the back. Loaded errors. I almost stopped eating it, but it was so good, those beef jerky, that I was like, never mind, the capital letters all over the place. Okay, so let's look. The hanging indent. Okay, when the source is longer, right, than 2 lines, you need to have this hanging indent right there. So you see the first line touches the margin. Everybody see that, right? The second line down is pushed in 0.5. So write that down. Second line pushes in, right, is indented to a 0.5. So I'm going to show you everybody how to do that. When I move my, can you see that I've highlighted the Union of Concerned Scientists? Can you see that? Yes, Nella? Okay, thank you. So I want everybody to watch this, okay? I'm going to do this slowly. When you need to do a hanging indent, what you need to do is bring, you see the bottom triangle? Everybody watch now. Move it into 0.5, okay? And then you have it like that, right? Then you see this top rectangle? We're doing geometry this morning. You got to move that back to 0. Okay, so go ahead and write that down in your notes. Hanging indent. What the heck happened? There. So weird. What the heck? Okay, you're going to have to, you're going to see though that if it's not aligned, then it's not going to drop down the same place as the others. Okay, everybody did understand what I did. I'm going to show you again because it's mind-blowing. Whose paper is this? This is Kayla, guys, yeah? This one. Okay, so go ahead and add in the access date. So you need to make sure you write accessed and then just put in the date properly on this one. Okay, Hanaho, oh, actually, Nai, you're on the, go ahead and try do this Hawaii County, Hawaii news list. Go ahead and try and do that as your, go ahead and try do your hanging indent. Niao, I think your guys group and the other group, go ahead and try and do a hanging indent so everybody can try. Everybody do one. Okay. Now do the second source. Hawaii County, Hawaii. Try do the second. Try do the hanging indent for that one. And then who is that? Becca? Becca, go ahead and try do the hanging indent for this first, the direct sewing. Yeah, try do the hanging indent. Practice. Everybody should be practicing. Okay, so Becca, go ahead and highlight the whole thing, the 2 lines. Okay, and then go up to the ruler, drag the triangle to 0.5. Let me, oh, that's weird. Okay, wait. Let me try. I'll try to do it for you and then I'll undo it. So look, I'm dragging it, 0.5. You gotta drag the triangle first and then move the rectangle. See that? Okay, so you do it now, hang on. Okay, you do it. Okay, Nai, what about you? How you doing? It looks like you got 2 indents. We need the, there, oh, yay, you. Okay, now you did it. Okay, now we gotta put the access date. Very good. So everybody see what we're doing here. Okay, can you guys all go back onto the page that I'm sharing? Now, there's a couple other things that happen, okay? Wow, what's going on there? Sorry, County. Oh, I get it. So everybody can see this page, right? This works cited page. Yes. Okay, everybody's there. I gotta show you guys some things. Diesel, how you doing? You good? Damon, you good? Okay. I want you guys to look, all right? So this is the irritating part. I'm calling out all the irritating parts this morning. Okay, so look at this. Look at the first source, right? Direct sowing, starting seeds outdoors, right? So you notice how there's this space right here? There's like this like space, right? And it's like, how do you get rid of that space? Everybody see that, right? So what you have to do is you have to kind of guess. And what you can do is you can separate the URL after you just hit the space button, but you see how that didn't work because it's too long. So maybe here, I'll do it here. Okay, and you see how it jumps up like that? Did you see what I did? Okay, look again. So you gotta guess and see, okay, I think that much can go onto the line above. Okay, everybody see that, right? So you gotta guess and you gotta find a place that has a punctuation, like a dash or a forward slash. Everybody see that? And then when you hit the space bar, this is what happens. So it looks better. Do you see that? Okay, good, yeah, easy. So when you look at this one, the Hawaii County, blah, 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 right? We got something, we have too much space after the May 2020. So you hit the space bar and it looks better like that. Everybody see that? This is like world-class education right here. How to get rid of the gaps in my works cited page. Okay, you're welcome. Okay, so everybody see that. The other thing I notice is that we need to make sure that this is 12 font. Are we in 12 font? Yes, we are. Very good. Oh, what is this? Okay, look at this. When I click, can you guys see, right? When I click over here on the date, it changes to Times New Roman. When I click over here in this gap, it changes to Arial. You see that? Okay, so to work around that, you just hit Command A, and then you just make sure that it's Times New Roman, and you just make sure, oh no, we just make sure that it's at 12, okay? And then you're good to go. You're formatted. You're good. Questions? No? Next part. You guys are like, oh my gosh, she's blasting us. I am blasting you guys. So this right here, I would totally bookmark this, all right? Because what you have here is the MLA works cited for electronic sources. Obviously, we didn't go to the library, right? So we don't have books. So what we need to do is just focus on these electronic sources. As you guys notice, these are basically the requirements for citations right here. Author, right? Article name in quotation marks. So it tells you, it walks you through this. How many of you guys are big fans of EasyBib? Okay, I'm okay with that. But what happens is EasyBib, when you copy and paste it into your doc, what happens? There's this funky highlighting, right? And then there's no date of access. So you got to go back and just double check that it picked up everything. Okay, we good on that? I want to just call that out because if you use EasyBib and then you just copy and paste and you say, okay, I'm done, I'm going to mark you down for not having your works cited page formatted properly. Okay, there's this like really light highlight. I don't know what it is, like a light yellow or a light brown or something that highlights it as the EasyBib copy and paste. So you need to make sure. Okay. Next, you see right here where there's the use the following format. Everybody see that? Okay, so one of the biggest tricks I tell my students is that when they're looking at their works cited page, okay, what you need to do, if I were you, is copy this, okay, and then paste it onto your works cited page at the very bottom. Okay, everybody clear on that? That's so helpful. Then you don't have to keep clicking back and forth, okay? Nella, I'm here to make your life easier, okay? So, Kalukalani, you good? Okay, very good. So if you guys look, it already breaks it up into the different categories. Am I using an entire website? Probably not. Am I using a page on a website? Probably, right? Am I using an ebook? Maybe. Okay, so we go down. Are you guys using an article in a web magazine? Maybe. This is what you guys are going to use for EBSCOhost, right? An article in an online scholarly journal. Okay, if you need to write that down, EBSCOhost article, online scholarly journal. Okay, if you don't know, now, how many of you guys don't know if a source is something? Then what you need to do is say, I think it's this, and use that format. Okay, but just try to get as close as possible to whatever category it is, because some of it, sometimes it's like kind of blurry, like it is an article, but it's from a database, right? So like even this right here, you could use EBSCOhost for this one. Okay, questions? Any questions on this? Yes, no? Okay, now let's move back into our Canvas, you guys. Thank you guys for being engaged and good to go. Okay, so let's look. Oh, one last thing. Your works cited page gotta be alphabetical order. Okay, gotta be. So peer editing sheet, let's have everybody click on the peer editing sheet. Click, 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 we're at the peer editing final. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna create a copy and add your name. Okay, I'm going to group you guys in groups of 3. Okay, so when you guys click on this peer editing sheet, can you guys see that? Everybody see that? Yes? Okay. So what I want you guys to, and it's not a memoir, sorry. That's not what I'm looking for. This is an essay. This is an essay. Okay. So what I want you guys to do is this. I want you guys to write your name at the top. Okay. When you make this copy, make sure that your name is also in the title of the file. So research, peer editing, and then put your name in there so that you know that's yours. So when your group members jump onto your checklist, okay, they are looking at your checklist and they're going to put their name in like editor's name for peer edit number 1. Everybody clear? Okay. So you shouldn't have your name at the top and then your name at the bottom. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to break up into groups of 3. Everybody should have their second draft up and running. Okay, and then you're going to choose, okay, I'm going to be peer editor number 1 and I'm going to be peer editor number 2. Okay, and then what you're going to do is share out a link to your essay so that everybody can see. And then you're also going to be sharing your link in your small groups to the peer editing worksheet. Everybody clear how to do this, right? Make sure that your peer editors have access. Let's just put it to anybody with the link can comment. Let's just keep it to can comment. So go ahead and get into your second drafts and make sure that it's anyone with the link can comment. Okay, we good? Okay, this should take us, I don't know, I'm going to say maybe 12, 15 minutes, okay? Just go through the checklist. It should be pretty easy. Peer editor number 1, you're basically looking at the format, and then peer editor number 2, you're looking more as like an English teacher, grammar stuff. So do what you are strong at. Okay, you guys ready? Okay, let's see. I'm gonna stop sharing. So some of you guys might have just 2 of you. Actually, no, I'm gonna make it so, okay. Some of you guys might have 3 in your groups. Okay, so maybe what you can do is just the ones that have 4 in your groups, okay, go ahead and just peer edit in pairs instead. Okay, everybody clear on that? So there's going to be some groups with 3 and some groups with 4. Okay, so this is one of my groups that has 4. So who's going to pair up with who?
I'm going with all you.
Okay. The boys and the girls. Okay, you guys good then? You
Yep.
guys shared each other's paper and the peer editing. Okay. Ahi, glad you came back, buddy. Poor thing. All good. Maddie, you too. Stressful, yeah, when you cannot get on. Just reminder, like anytime that happens, like I'm videotaping the courses, the classes, so can do it that way too. Okay, but it's kind of rough, yeah, if you miss class. So. Okay, good. Can you guys start your timers for 12 minutes? Thank you. Okay, hi, good morning. Hey. Okay, so what's going on? Who's going with who? Nai, you going with Nai? Okay, right on. Okay, and Kekama and Kalukalani, you guys looking at each other's papers, right? Very good. Kalukalani, I cannot wait to read your paper.
Emily, you gotta for the thing that you sent out for your peer editing, you gotta make it so that I can,
Comment.
yeah.
Good, you guys.
Is that the checklist or the?
Yes.
Oh, Anela, you need to open up the access for the peer editing.
How's it going? Is this okay? This is weird because, normally we would be doing this in class and we would just like print out our paper and then we would just pass it around. But obviously this is not happening this way. So I'm hoping you guys can handle this. Can? Okay. Alrighty.
We're confused.
Okay, go ahead.
So we have one checklist for 2 people.
Yeah, so you see how like you have peer editor number 1,
Mm-hmm.
right? So like you would give your paper to Becca, right? Becca would fill out maybe peer editing number 1. And then like Diesel would look at your paper, but do checklist number 2, peer editor number 2. Do you see that on the bottom?
Mm-hmm.
You see that? That's why you should have two different names in yours on your checklist. Does that make sense, you guys?
So we're sharing 3 different checklists with each other?
No. So at the top, you should have your name, right? Because this is for your essay.
Oh, okay.
So in the chat, you guys should just put your links to your revision and your and your essay.
Okay.
Becca, it looks like I farted. I mean, you okay now? It looks like you heard me fart and you're like, okay, did you guys share your links to each other? Make sure your name's at the top. That's why it's really important to have your name at the top. Peer editing, peer revision checklist for essay, and then put your name right there at the very top so you know. Okay, and then your editor's name, you should have your classmate's name inside there, not your name. Not your name. Okay, good. Stop bothering you guys. Shouldn't take that long. I mean, you're just kind of scanning.
I'm just waiting for Ahi to get his link.
Okay. Oh, some curlier hair today.
Oh, thank you.
It looks cute. Did it get wet?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what happens to my hair. You know, like it's crazy. Or if I wake up first thing in the morning,
Yeah.
talk
Right.
about bushwhacker. Okay. All right, Ahi, you good? Is it working? Who is that behind you? Yeah.
Well, that's Lansing.
I don't have him in class. All right,
Yeah.
there's the link. Yay.
You gotta change it to anyone with the link can comment. Please.
Neil,
Yes.
are you, because it looks like we might run out of time, but if you guys aren't finished, you guys can get onto Zoom and Zoom each other, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, tomorrow. Okay. Alrighty. You know what I'll do is I'll open up the Zoom tomorrow so that you guys can Zoom with each other, and then I can help you guys as you guys are doing that. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, I think that's easier.
Yeah.
Okay, shoots. Shoots. Oh, Niao, we went out yesterday past the wall, just a little bit, like just 1 mile out. Was
Never go
huge.
yesterday.
Mountains.
I wish. Would have been fun. Found
Oh.
everything
Was a little bit squeeze of cola. It was spooky.
scary.
Mm-hmm. All right, how's it going? Did you guys need some more time? Okay, so this is what we're going to do because we're running out of time for block 1. Okay, so let me just see everybody. Hang on. Okay, did I get everybody back? Okay, let's look. Everybody back? All right. What we're gonna do is tomorrow morning, I think some of you guys need more time. So you can do this either 2 ways, right? You guys can just like work on each other's peer editing for homework and get that done so that you have more time, okay? Because you have a partner you're working with. Or tomorrow, what I'm going to do is just open the class so you guys can get in, and then I can set you guys up again, okay? It shouldn't take very long. You should be able to get that done. So I'm going to be opening up the class tomorrow. So go ahead and write that down, okay? If you need more time, I'm going to be opening up the class, okay, for Zoom. All right, so I'm just gonna go over one last thing before I cut you guys loose, okay? So that would be this, okay? So as you guys look, your revision for your final draft is going to be submitted here, okay? Final draft submitted here, everybody see? Okay, yes. I know there was a bit of confusion, so if you were confused, just email me and then we'll figure it out, okay? Niall, you good? You gotta look over here, okay? So make sure, final draft, you submit here. I'll upload the rubric right after this so that you guys can use it as a checklist, but basically it's pretty straightforward. Okay, do you have your 7 paragraphs? Do you have your sources cited, right? Everything we've gone over, that's what's going to be graded on. MLA format, all of that, okay? Next, what we have here is we have this poem that you're going to start working on. Raise your hand. How many of you guys are in speech right now? Okay, very good. You're going to be using this poem in your speech class. So we're going to write it in our class. Okay, everybody clear? Okay, so go ahead and click on that and let's make a link. Let's make your own copy. Okay, so what we have here is we have links to what this is. And basically what I've done is I've given you guys the template. The template is going to be for you guys to create. Yes?
The link isn't working.
What? Hang on.
It says access denied.
Nah. Well, hang on. Try now. Thank you. All right. This is one of my, it's sad. I mean, my most favorite poems, but also the most heartbreaking. Okay, so you guys are going to click through these links and look at it. There's a link to the audio. So it starts off with first they came for the socialists and I did not speak out because I was not a socialist. Then they came for the trade unionists and I did not speak out because I was not a trade unionist. Then they came for the Jews and I did not speak out because I was not a Jew. Then they came for me and there was no one left to speak for me. Okay, this is a very bone-chilling poem about what happens when everybody just stays in their lane. Okay, so what you're gonna do is when you click on this link right here, go ahead and click on the Martin Niemöller First They Came For. So what this is the background information for this Lutheran pastor, Martin Niemöller, and you can kind of see what he went through, how he tried to save as many people as he could, okay? His words are memorialized in the National Holocaust Museum. Anybody been to Washington, D.C. before? No? Oh my gosh. I'll tell you exactly where that is. Okay. All right. So anyway, going back to the poem. Okay. What you're going to do is you're going to type in, okay, what you see as people that don't have voices, that need a voice. Everybody clear on that? Okay. And then that's just the first part. If you look down below, there's a transition line, okay, that you need to figure out. Then you're going to add 5 more lines to shift the poem into another direction. And what do you know? There is an example below. Okay. So what you have here is you have just a version, right? First, they came for the minorities, and I did not speak out because I did not discover the strength in my own identity when I was young. Then they came for the women, and I did not speak out because I did not live in a time when women were worth less than farm animals. Then they came for me, and I found my voice through the pages of history, because I finally realized that I am the sum total of the past efforts of civil rights activists and soldiers who fought for equality. That's the transition. Okay, then you have to come up with your own, it's called anaphora. I know that sounds like deodorant, but it's not. Anaphora is the repetition of a phrase, okay? Anaphora, I just taught you a new word here. Anaphora, again, not deodorant. Okay, so I started with and yet we find ourselves fighting the same fight of having that dream, his dream. And yet we find ourselves increasingly divided by our views of society, only to forget that we are in this together. And yet we must find a way to hold the hands of our brothers and sisters, regardless of the many band-aids healing the wounds of words. And yet we must work towards a better tomorrow where everyone is safe. And yet when Brada Is sings, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world, I am reminded that diversity should be the common denominator in life. Okay, so there's also another version that I started. Okay, you guys are more than welcome to write many versions that come to mind. Okay, but this is the basic framework for this poem. Okay, we're all going to try and we're going to create our own drafts and submit it for this week. Everybody good on that? So peer revision, revise, submit final draft, poem, and I'm not gonna have Membeen for you guys this week. Give me 5. Boom. Boom. Yes, okay. Write that down real big so that in case your parents are like, what about your Membeen? You say, no Membeen. Okay, and I'll write that into the canvas so that you guys remember no more Membeen. Okay, good. Email me. You guys saw that this week I'm inputting mid-quarter grades. If you guys need extra tutoring, something, email me, reach out. Okay, it's up to you guys to reach out if you guys want to fix. Okay, all right, I'll see you guys tomorrow if you guys need more time to work in your groups. Okay, bye you guys, take care. Now you good? Nella, where you stay?